Alright, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and this is Richard. So I am going to show you pretty much everything that I collected on our little 20-day excursion. And I'll show it to you and explain a little bit of why I've got it. Some of it's mundane, some of it's for my religious magical belief system, and it's all just because I think it's all cool. Alright, so let's just delve into this. So this is the stuff that I collected in Missouri while we were in Missouri. And let's see here. Here's a honey locust thorn from the farm of Walt Disney where he grew up. Now some of this stuff I've shown before on another video, but I haven't done a complete everything video, so that's what this is. So this is just a honey locust thorn from a tree growing on the farmland of Walt Disney when he was a child. There's that. Now, we went to Thomas Hill Reservoir and we spent 3 or 4 days. I can't remember exactly how many days we spent there. 3 days. All right. And these are some shells that I collected from the beach that we were on at the reservoir. I love shells. And here's just a few rocks that I collected in the water and around the beach and stuff, just because I enjoyed their coloring or their shape or just the way they felt or whatever reason. And I also found a skeleton of a catfish there, and I got a piece of its jaw with its teeth on it. So here is a catfish jaw. Alright, so next we went through Kansas and we went to Boot Hill Museum in Dodge City. And I was able to get a hold of a little bit of buffalo fur. So this is some buffalo fur off of a buffalo hide. As well, I did actually get to see the actual real Boot Hill cemetery, and here is some dirt from Boot Hill Cemetery. I did purchase a memento or an item from there. It is a deer horn whistle, and it does work quite well, just like that. Now I did place some cordage onto it. I glued some cordage onto it, and then I put a carabiner on it. So now I have this little whistle here. So after the Kansas trip, then we went into Colorado. Now I'm going to save the Colorado stuff for last because that's the most stuff that I have. After Colorado, we went into Wyoming, and I am also going to save that for next to last. And then our last stop was in South Dakota, and I am going to do that stuff now. We were in the Black Hills in South Dakota, and we also went to Deadwood. So, we were at a rest stop, information center, something to that effect or whatever, but they have big-horned sheep running around in South Dakota. Now, I did not actually see one, although I do believe Michelle did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I missed that.
Through the woods behind me.
Yes, but at this information center, they had a stuffed bighorn sheep, and laying all around it was some of its hair, and I do have some of its hair wrapped up in this paper towel that's in this baggie. I'm not going to unravel it right now, but there's some bighorn sheep hair in there. Now, next, see what we got here. I got some tree, some pine sap from a pine tree in the Black Hills in South Dakota. Right there. So that's cool. I also found a good amount of oak leaves. So here are some oak leaves from the Black Hills of South Dakota on Mount Roosevelt. Very awesome. Let's see here. Also, while I was walking the trail, I found some really cool dry moss on a tree, and I grabbed several branches of that. This moss is just freaking awesome looking. So this moss comes from the Black Hills in South Dakota. And I have, it looks like 3 small, here's a really small branch that I got a few pieces on, and I got one more in there. So there's some dry moss from some trees in South Dakota. As well, here is a rock from the Black Hills in South Dakota. I wanted to make sure that I at least got one rock from the Black Hills, and here it is. Just stuff's just laying around everywhere. It's part of the hills. So I wanted to make sure that I got myself a rock from the Black Hills. And that is all of the natural stuff that I collected. And again, like I said, we did go down into Deadwood, and I saw the most wonderful Native American arrow that to this day still haunts me that I didn't purchase. But it was very
Babe.
That's all right. It was very expensive. For me, it was very good. It's $32. We couldn't afford it at the time, but I do believe that we will probably make our way back into South Dakota at some point. So anyway, I did purchase a few trinkets from Deadwood. So here are a couple arrowheads. Now, I don't know if these are mass produced or whether or not they've actually been hand chipped, or I don't really know. I find them to be beautiful, and these will be effective. They will work. So I am going to actually make some arrows, and I will be using these arrowheads as well. Being a avid fan of Hecate, I found keys. I did get a third one, of course. I did purchase 3 keys. 2 of them like this, and then this one here. And Michelle has the other heart key. But I do love these keys. They're really pretty awesome. So we got these keys. And also I got myself a brothel coin. So this is a reproduction of the old 1800s brothel coins. And Miss Kitty's in Deadwood, South Dakota. Says 1 pinch of gold dust for 1 screw. That's what it says right there. And then it says good for all night right there. So there was another coin that said $3 on it, so I'm assuming for $3 you bought this coin, and then you could pick your gal and bang her all night, I guess. That's the... Anyway, I bought 2 of them, one for Michelle, one for me. I'm going to use mine one of these days. I'm just going to hand it to her, and there we go. So anyway, that's the South Dakota stuff. Alright, so now we are into Wyoming. Because like I said, we're going to do Colorado last because I have the largest amount of stuff from Colorado. So we went to the Thunder Basin National Grasslands and spent, what, 4 or 5 days?
5.
5 days there. Had such a wonderful time, and I have to be honest, I think that Thunder Basin National Grasslands may be my favorite place now, ever. So we'll see. But after we left the Thunder Basin, we did go to Devil's Tower, and I did get to walk around that. I actually got to touch Devil's Tower, and as a matter of fact, even though there were plenty of signs that said you weren't supposed to be getting off the path, I actually did a couple times jump off the path a little bit. And one time I did...
Such a rebel.
I am. And I did actually jump onto a rock up on technically on Devil's Tower. So I can say technically I've been on Devil's Tower. So anyway, I did grab 2 small rocks. Most of those are so big that wouldn't even fit in the van. There wasn't very many small rocks around, but I did find a couple really small rocks that came off of Devil's Tower. It's just a rock. I don't really know if there's any, like, what it is, to be totally honest, but whatever Devil's Tower is made of, this is it right here. And here's a piece of it. I didn't break it off. I didn't damage anything to pick. It was just laying on the ground and I just picked it up. So I did grab 2 pieces, one for me and one for Michelle. So this is part of Devil's Tower right here. I love this rock. Is it granite? You were told? Okay, she was told it was granite. I have a lot of granite. This is a different colored granite than the granite that I got in Colorado. This is gray. The granite I got in Colorado is brown. Anyway, she's told it's granite, so, well, made of a mountain, so I guess granite. So anyway, that's all I got at Devil's Tower. The visitor center was closed. Everybody was still being really stupid and all that crazy stuff, so it was closed. But on the grasslands, the open grasslands, so the next to the last day that I was there, I did get myself a prairie dog. Now I did check the laws. I was very adamant about checking those before I did anything, and prairie dog trapping is completely open. No licensing, no requirements, no nothing. Just go out there and take them as you please. I did trap 1 prairie dog, and here he is. I did have a hanger with me, amazingly, because I didn't have anything to stretch it on. I'm surprised. But I did have this hanger with me. So here's the prairie dog. As a matter of fact, it really looks a lot like just a squirrel. They're a little fatter than squirrels and their tails are different, but they kind of remind me of a squirrel. So anyway, here's a prairie dog. So as soon as I get a chance, I am going to work this and make it a very nice and soft hide, but right now it's just rawhide. But it is a freaking cool animal. And here are its feet. I do have all 4 of his feet. I did not save the skull because I did not have any ability to clean it out or do anything like that. I just kept its hide and its feet. So, and again, these remind me a lot of squirrel feet too. So there we go. So got myself a prairie dog. Now, let's see. When we were driving into the grasslands, I found a baby antelope that had been dead for a very long time. It was nothing but bones, and most of them were missing and broken and all kinds of stuff. But I did find a horn, a piece of horn that was still attached, so I did take that off of the antelope. So this is a piece of its horn. I don't know if you'd call that an antler or a horn. To me it looks more like a horn than an antler, so I'm calling it a horn. If I'm incorrect, I'm sure someone will tell me. And I'm positive someone will tell me. So anyway, here's a little horn from an antelope, baby antelope, which again I did not harm. It was completely dead and bones and all that by the time I got to it. Let's see. I did find 2 sheds while I was out there walking around.
They were too big to tow, so we left them there.
Yeah, right. So here was the first one that I found. Very nice small one. And this one clearly has been out there a long time. It was clearly been there a while. So this was the first shed that I found. And the second shed that I found is right here. Look at this one. Look at that. Now this one's freaking awesome, isn't it? Right there. This, look at that. It's really smooth right here. Look at that. That's just really cool to me. So anyway, here's the second shed that I found. That's the only sheds that I found out there. I was kind of hoping that I would find more.